In the warm softness of her bed, Shatima Thomas lay hoping that heaven's door would open for her. The moment before opening her eyes signified whether it would be her favorite part of the day or the most dreaded. If she didn't make it through the night, it meant she could be reunited with her deceased father and brother. Registering that the sound of the morning news meant that her wish was denied, she sighed and rolled over to focus on the television.
I'm Malcolm Jefferson.
And I'm Hope Thomas, and this is Good Morning Sanford County. The peppiness of the delightful duo on the television caused Shatima to cut her eyes and frown at them. She listened to their banter woven between the traffic and weather reports. Her frown deepened as they reported the local news. A severe lack of emotion was present as they spoke about the rise in homicides. To balance it out with some good news, an entrepreneur named Malachi James just opened his 7th factory. He was handing out jobs like hotcakes. He also offered to pay for the funerals of the slain murder victims. Then, just like that, more startling news aired. Hope spoke about the rash of kidnappings in the city's impoverished areas. Parents of African American boys in low-income neighborhoods were warned to be on high alert. That she said this so calmly with a twinkle in her eye angered Shatima. Every 5 to 10 years, poor black boys in Sanford County were ripped from their families. Very few of them returned alive. Some of them turned up in obscure parts of town as defiled corpses. It was rumored that they were sold as sex slaves. Hope ended the report by advising all parents to be on high alert. As a 21-year-old single mother of a young son with a limited support system, Shatima was always on high alert. Shatima looked at the paintings on the walls surrounding her bed as she prepared to face the day. The goddess Oshun was perched across from Isis, reminding her of who she was and why she was still here. She didn't have to wish she was dead. She had a purpose. Into the bathroom she walked and turned on a stereo with a 3-disc changer. Every morning she listened to Soul to Soul's Keep On Moving, followed by Groove Theory's Keep Trying. Singing the hooks as she showered was like giving herself instructions for the day. Shatima went down the hall to check on her purpose. Jabez was the reason she breathed for the past 5 years. She didn't know what she did to deserve that beautiful brown boy, but she cherished him. Looking at him made her feel guilty for her nightly wish. At the same time, looking at him fueled her nightly wish. She didn't do him justice as his mother, she felt. If she did, she wouldn't have given birth to him when she was 17. But if her wish was granted and she went to heaven, then who would protect him from the world? Mornings were a complicated time in the mind of Shatima Thomas. They sat at the television in the living room and watched the rest of Good Morning Sanford. The anchor woman seemed to be holding back giggles, while the anchor man reported that the citizens of South Sanford continued to complain about wanting more than one point of entry and exit. When the anchor man read a report about the people of South Sanford feeling like they were being punished or held captive, the anchor woman lost it. Shatima turned off the TV. "Let's go so that we can get your bus. Mommy has to go get breakfast before work." Hand in hand, they left their apartment and descended 4 flights of stairs before reaching the exit to their building. It was an atypical warm day for October in upstate New York. Their stoop was filled with people pushing through loiterers to get to their various destinations. A woman fussed at her boyfriend for not helping her carry the stroller downstairs. He ignored her and encouraged the other men and boys out there to marvel Shatima's ass with him. One man called to her that he'd pay her to let him use her ass as a pillow. She wished they wouldn't say such crass things around her son. Sometimes she expressed that. That day she let her scowl speak for her.
Hey, what's wrong with y'all? Learn some respect.
Shatima stifled the wry smile that was forming on her face before the 6'4" owner of the commanding voice fell in step beside her. Dressed in coveralls and work boots and carrying a cooler, Rashawn was the only man within the Nat Turner projects Shatima said more than 2 words to the entire time she lived there. When she first moved in, he introduced himself as Banger. She agreed to be cordial to him on the condition that he gave her his government name rather than his nickname. Outside of his grandmother and his mother, she was the only woman who called him by his first name.